Guys, welcome back to another video, and today we have part 10 of What If Gohan Was a Legendary Super Saiyan. Anyways, before we start, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and most importantly, I hope you enjoy. Now, let's get started, shall we? Start things off, there will be no Zen exhibition match, also a few other differences. What was no Zen exhibition match since no other Zeno. Also, Gohan would actually go to recruit Piccolo this time, would actually be the one instead of Goku already going to recruit him to train Gohan since Gohan would need training up. Also, the group will realize they're low on members much sooner in this timeline since they wouldn't have Majin Buu from the beginning. And so Beerus will obviously tell Whis to look over the universe for some from other fighters, fighting a few and one in particular. Of course, be on planet Vampa. You can already tell where this is going. Goku, who will want to tag along, Beerus and Whis eventually head on to the planet where they will find, of course, Paragus, who would say, well, he saved him, and of course introduce his son, who they would actually be there for. Goku would want to test Broly out. Paragus would try to object, but Beerus would say it would be a good idea, and the two would begin their spar fights. I don't care what term you use. Of course, base to base, Goku would be Broly from the beginning until he does his thing and grows stronger. And so, Goku, of course, will cycle through his Super Saiyan forms from then to Super Saiyan 3, still Broly able to fight his base. To Super Saiyan God, which Broly would turn Ikari against, eventually would be overwhelmed and would like against Vegeta turn Ikari, or humanoid Uzar, whichever term you want to use. Anyways, the two would continue their fight for a while, no specifics to go into, except for there will of course be no God bind. And Goku would eventually turn blue, and much like in canon, the two would be evenly matched. And Goku would eventually end the fight with chopping Broly's neck. Of course, with Goku being the victor, they eventually all head back to Earth. There, Paragus sees Vegeta and everything, and will of course go on his old revenge thing, and that will be revealed in the next part. Yes, that's right, the next part. And so here we have our Tournament of Power team, just to list it all. Of course, you probably all know it. Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Gohan, of course, Tien, Master Roshi, Krill Dog, Android 17 and 18. One of the only people who looks good in a tracksuit. Just saying, she doesn't make it look bad. And of course, Broly. It was tempting to put Frieza in. Onto the actual Tournament of Power will begin mostly the same, except for Broly would most likely still stick with Gohan in his inner circle. This whole circle around the ring. Starting off, opponents like the Yadratian would be tough with his teleportation, as Gohan would try launching a key, as Gohan and Piccolo would come up with a plan, as Gohan would launch a key blast horse, would make it the Yajaran obviously teleport away, where Piccolo would grab him with his arms, and Gohan would launch even bigger key blasts, sending him out with Piccolo's arms. Of course, he will regenerate from this, but it will still be painful. Other changes, Broly would assist Vegeta and Master Roshi against Vegeta and Frost, and so Frost gets eliminated here instead of later, and isn't erased in this timeline. Isn't erased yet in this timeline. Of course, Goku fight. Of course, things continue on the same with Goku fighting Jiren. And eventually Gohan finding him when he's low on energy, and Gohan would revive him with energy. Also, a few more changes. I forgot to get image of these. Against those two Namekians, Gohan would easily dominate them, meaning they get out. They get out pretty easily. First, that means Goku basically having low energy, just regular, body fatigue, if you know what I mean. Not like that. Goku would be able to easily take out the Universe 3 androids that came to attack him later that Cauliflower had to kick away. Instead of Goku taking on Cauliflower for the second time, Gohan will take on Cauliflower. I think I'm saying her name right. As Gohan would of course turn Ultimate and Caulifla going Super Saiyan 2, and that fight would go about as well for Caulifla as you think. As soon enough, Kel would join in with her Berserker state, and the two would actually be able to do something against Gohan fighting together, especially with their synergy. As Gohan would eventually turn Super Saiyan God and easily start to overwhelm the two. But as we know, they still have one more trick up their sleeve and would fuse together, turning to Caulifla, as Gohan would turn Super Saiyan Blue, with the two being evenly matched until Caulifla would turn into a legendary Super Saiyan or a legendary Super Saiyan 2, however special or her special form, and will overwhelm Gohan in Super Saiyan Blue. Then Gohan would turn legendary Super Saiyan Blue and would begin battling Caulifla and would eventually grow strong enough, and would eventually overwhelm Caulifla and would finish her off with a Masenko Kamehameha. Continuing on, the changes, except for against Aniraza, where Broly would be there instead of Frieza. This all results in the Universe 7 versus Universe 11, where instead of Frieza, of course, Broly would be there since Gohan against Dispo, with of course his speed and his whatever hyper speed form giving them a bunch of trouble. As again, another plan would be came up with as Broly would launch a giant Omega Blaster in one area, forcing Dispo to run away the other, which Gohan will launch a Kamehameha towards. Of course, Dispo will really have no way out of this attack as one of them, I don't really care who, but let's say for the sake of this, Broly would knock Dispo out of the ring. Or throw. Of course, this would mean Broly and Gohan will go since 17 against Topo. And that battle goes for as good as Topo as you would think, with Topo eventually activating God of Destruction mode. Accessing God of Destruction mode, I may do a what if on this, now it's too OP. As the 2 and 17, but he wouldn't really do anything, so mainly these two would be rendered really helpless against Topo, even though powering up to, their max here. Of course, the two would have their moment, thinking about all that will be erased if they lose this fight. And so will look deep within inside themselves and begin to awaken new powers, transformations. As Gohan even got hit my favorite outfit of his, the purple one, would transform into Ultra Instinct Omen. And of course, Broly will go Super Saiyan. As the three would all combine the one attack, as Topo will use one giant Hakai with the attack clashing after a beam struggle. The three would be able to push Topo's attack barely using everything they got and would be able to push Topo out of the ring, winning the fight, although Gohan and Broly would obviously collapse because of how much energy they would use. Continuing on. From here, things largely remain the same of Ultra Instinct Goku Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus Jiren. That all remains the same. And of course, when Goku would be saved by one of these three, probably Gohan. And the three would continue to battle Jiren to the very end, except for no doing of Frieza, as he will be knocked out the first time before Topo can give him an encouragement speech. Meaning that Universe 7 wins the tournament. Of course, as team leader, and naturally make more sense in the timeline, Gohan would get the wish, and would, of course, I don't see him not changing to revive all the universes and their people. And with that would end the tournament of power. Hopefully y'all enjoyed, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, enjoy my next part, or the next what if I'm uploading. Probably what if Sasuke had Ulquiorra's powers part 3. And see you next time, where I'll be covering the Broly movie for this next week. Then the Mora arc, and then on to a new what if, which is a great one I have planned. Weird one.